Welcome, everyone, to your new moon in Capricorn, Horoscopes and Tarotscopes for the new moon on January 11th, 2024. Some people are calling this new moon the actual start of the new year because it's a new cycle and it's going to be a lot of fun. So today we're going to talk all about this new moon and how you can make the most of it. In fact, we're going to also do a tarot reading for every sign to give you some wisdom for the tarot to help you along with this new cycle, which is going to be a lot of fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your new moon in Capricorn, horoscopes, and tarotscopes. So let's talk a little bit about this new moon. So new moons, just so you know, are a time for initiation, attracting, and manifesting. After the new moon, we have the waxing moon cycle. So it's 2 weeks right after the new moon until we reach the full moon. So the 2 weeks from January 11th to January 25th, when we have our full moon, you're drawing in energy. You're focusing on what you want and you're taking inspired action. So this is a period to plant seeds and to nurture those seeds and consider what you want to manifest. The full manifestation of your intentions should be realized by the corresponding full moon in Capricorn, which will be this summertime when the sun is in Cancer. But you'll start to see manifestations most likely by the 25th of January when we have our next moon cycle. We'll have our full moon in Leo come January 25th. Hey, Kelsey, happy Thursday. Nice to see you. So additionally, how's this new moon going to affect you? Well, you want to determine, if you have your time of birth, which house 20 degrees of Capricorn falls in your astrology chart. That's where the energy is most ripe for new beginnings for you. So if you have 20 degrees of Capricorn in your first house, you're perhaps a Capricorn rising, you're going to be making intentions, setting intentions based upon your identity. If it's the second house, it'll be money. Third house, communications, etc. So find that 20 degrees of Capricorn, or you can follow along here. In this video today, we're going to ballpark it based upon your sign and or rising sign. So you can follow along to determine how this new moon will affect you, but you may also want to check your chart for where 20 degrees of Capricorn is. We have quite a few aspects, most of which are very, very positive. The new moon is making a tight trine. That's a beautiful 120-degree angle to unpredictable Uranus. Uranus also can be about the miraculous. So this symbolizes innovation, truth, greater equality, and a connection to higher mind and higher beings. So one thing also to keep in mind, I didn't put this in the slide, but Mercury is very, very close to the galactic center. Mercury is in Sagittarius this new moon, I think 26 degrees Sag, and that's right around where the galactic center is. So you may find yourself getting downloads from divine intelligence. All you need to do is make sure your mind is at peace and that you're feeling emotionally secure, and open yourself up to what the universe might pop into your head, might pop right into the top of your head to your crown chakra. Mars in Capricorn is also making an exact trine with Jupiter and Taurus. Both are at 5 degrees in earth signs. So this denotes enthusiasm and a crusading spirit to build for the long term. So we got some really nice earthy aspects. This is perfect for the new year. So I would encourage you to create structures in your life based upon your goals. So if it doesn't get scheduled, it's not real, right? So determine what it is that you want and formulate a plan to attack it on a regular basis. We also have Saturn making a positive sextile. That's a really nice 60-degree angle with Jupiter in Taurus. This suggests stability and support for your business and financial endeavors. So we're all set up this new moon for more stability, more security, those things that make us feel stronger and healthier and more alive. Like the goat leaping lustfully from summit to summit. So keep that in mind. I'm going to start with Aries, of course. The very beginning, Aries. So Aries, this new moon for you is transiting your 10th house of status. So go out and get that trophy. Determine what you want to be known for. What contribution do you want to make to humanity? What are your long-term goals? How do you want the world to see you? What do you want to be known for? Meanwhile, Uranus, unpredictable and sometimes miraculous Uranus, is in your 2nd house, which rules finances, your values, and your self-expression to a certain extent. So there's a nice blending of energy between your career and your finances, your reputation and your values. So you want to utilize this new moon to align your professional goals with your financial goals or your values. And your career could bring you more money. Your reputation could bring you more money. You might find with the 2nd house, your values, a new value that you have allows you to achieve more status. So you can plug and play with this new moon in the 10th and Uranus in the 2nd and combine both for best effect, because there's a beautiful energy between those two planets. Hey, Gayla, nice to see you. I am having a wonderful day. I hope you are too. Thank you for joining me. So let's see, Aries, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn, which is hitting your 10th house of status, profession. Wisdom for Aries. Wisdom for Aries. Wisdom for Aries. Wisdom for Aries. Queen of Swords. So with the Queen of Swords, this is about developing confidence internally, intellectual confidence. So you're feeling very, very smart during this period. You want to really lean into anything that pertains to the intellect, writing, editing, publishing. She actually makes a really great dancer as well. So the Queen of Swords, it's all about you getting internally confident with your brain, with your mind, and really calling out things. In some respects, with the Queen of Swords, she's often alone. So there might be certain things that you have to do on your own during this period. The big general advice for Queen of Swords is to utilize your brain and to make decisions that are good for you for the long term. How can your intellect, how can your brain help you go to that next level professionally or financially, given the aspects for you this new moon? So happy new moon, Aries. Taurus. So Taurus, this new moon is transiting your 9th house, which is nice. So this is easy. It's a nice, easy house. The new moon in the 9th, it's all about what new horizons do you want to explore? How do you want to broaden your mind? How do you want to expand your perspective? You could determine that this is a time when you want to do a deep dive into a subject. Maybe you want to go into law, or you want to study philosophy, or you want to understand more about religion, theology, spirituality. It also might be a time when you're thinking, I really have itchy feet. I want to get out of America, or I want to leave behind the known for the unknown. The 9th house often has to do with the leap of faith, going out on a limb. And you may have itchy feet, meaning you might be sick of the same thing that you have been doing. So this is a wonderful time for you to expand and grow. If you have anything that you can publish or broadcast, this is a wonderful new moon to set intentions for that. Meanwhile, of course, Uranus has been in your 1st house for quite some time now. Your 1st house of identity. And out of all the signs, Uranus being in yours, Taurus, is probably the most difficult because Taurus is very stubborn. They're not really keen on change. They want the status quo. If it's not broken, don't fix it, might be Taurus's motto. And although that is sometimes true, with Uranus in your first house, you're learning how to become more of you, more of your authentic self. And that means breaking away or releasing the bonds that stifle you. So embrace personal reinvention and change this new moon. You also might find with this new moon in the 9th, making this gorgeous trine to your first house, you may find that a new philosophy changes your identity, or a new love. Maybe you fall in love with a new country and that becomes a part of your personality. Or maybe you're going to utilize this new moon to publish or broadcast, and then you're going to self-identify as an author or as somebody who podcasts, etc. So think about how you can expand and grow and how that is going to inform a new identity. And remember, Taurus, that the only constant in life is change. Change is stability. So if you want more stability, definitely leverage this energy and change, embrace change. So let's see, Taurus, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Taurus, wisdom for Taurus, wisdom for Taurus. 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands, if you notice in this card, this dude is having a day, right? He has 10 wands and he's pushing them, and it's arduous, right? It's difficult. So what you want to do, Taurus, with the 10 of Wands is release the pressure valve. What are you doing that is putting way too much pressure on you? How can you relax? How can you allow yourself to align with that feeling of relief? So really let go of your burdens. Just give yourself a respite however you can. I would say alternatively, with the 10 of Wands, now might be a time in which you are very full of fire, since wands pertain to fire. So if you're the type of person who needs a lot of pressure on you, that's typically not a Taurus thing. It's usually a fiery thing. However, if you are that person, given your chart, you may want to do something that is arduous, that is difficult. This is a weightlifting card, right? Because when you're weightlifting, it's obviously tough and challenging. So if you're the type of person who needs to have, quite frankly, a problem, right? Or to feel under the gun, behind the 8 ball, maybe channel that need through something like exercise, as opposed to putting yourself through the ringer and feeling overburdened. And happy new moon, Taurus. Gemini. So this new moon, Gemini, for you is hitting your 8th house. This can be a little bit challenging. I'm not going to lie. The 8th house is about death and rebirth. It's often about letting go. When you're having an 8th house transit, usually it's a matter of you have to set or dissolve a boundary. So the general rule of thumb is if something is making you feel great and it's putting a smile on your face and it's good for you, well, maybe move in a little closer and dissolve a boundary. But if something is undermining you or making you feel bad, you want to set a boundary to protect yourself. So establish or dissolve boundaries in your life. Maybe you're too controlled or too closed off, and you need to release a little bit of energy to let other people in. The 8th house is all about sharing, right? But you're going through a rebirth, this metamorphosis, this new moon. So determine in 2024 what needs to come into your life and what needs to go bye-bye. Meanwhile, Uranus, planet of the miraculous, planet of the unpredictable and revolution, is in your 12th house of the subconscious. So that's not easy, in that your subconscious mind is being given sort of these shocking insights this new moon. It might not be problematic getting these insights, but you're probably going to awaken to something that you hadn't seen before. With Uranus in your 12th, there's almost like this electrifying energy that's in your brain, and you're probably going to get some insight into your beliefs, your patterns of behavior. The 12th house is our house of undoing. It's how we self-sabotage. It might be old paradigms, old stories, old beliefs. And when it comes to manifesting, you want to make sure that you believe that what you want is possible. So what you could do is determine what you want this new moon, and then think of somebody who has it and what their beliefs might be. But this is a watery transit for you with the new moon in the 8th, and it's flowing quite nicely with Uranus in the 12th. So you want to go with the flow and essentially learn and discover where it is that you need to die, metaphorically, and where you need to train your brain to be more aligned with what it is that you want. Essentially, what you want to do is not be in love with your past. You want to fall in love with the future that you want, your ideal future. And that may require some form of letting go and some kind of reprogramming of your subconscious. This is a wonderful transit for you to meditate, of course. It's always good to meditate, but also affirmations or vision boarding, stuff like that. So let's see, Gemini, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords, if you notice, this guy is he's on his tippy toes and he's sneaking away. He's being a little sneak. So with the Seven of Swords, this is a time of you gathering your resources, especially your mind. Just so you know, your planet, ruling planet Mercury, is still slow until the 20th. Mercury did go direct come January 1st. However, it needs to still get back up to speed to where it was prior to its retrograde on December 12th. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Mercury is going to be out of its shadow period by the 20th of January. Things are going to be better for you during that period. But with Seven of Swords, you want to make sure that you have your ducks, especially your mental ducks, in a row. You also might want to just gather information during this period. It's a good time to research whatever it is that you may be working on. I would also say with the Seven of Swords, sometimes you may need to be diplomatic. At best, in a lot of respects, the Seven of Swords epitomizes the quality of appeasement. So sometimes you need to appease people, right? It reminds me of that expression. It's better to ask forgiveness than permission. But you want to be diplomatic during this period and don't really go like head on. If you're dealing with, for instance, an authority figure, you want to really be diplomatic and not go overboard. And this actually makes a lot of sense if you're going through an 8th house transit, because an 8th house transit is very intense. It's going to make you feel very scorpionic. And Scorpios, they don't really fear anything because they've gone through it and they're pretty unflappable. And as a result, they can sometimes go overboard. Like when the Scorpio is really upset, you'll see them go ballistic. This card is the exact opposite of that. You do not want to go overboard emotionally. You want to be very, very measured and definitely keep in mind the long view. You don't want to blow a gasket this new moon and ruin your chances for something that could be successful or profitable for you. So happy new moon, Gemini. Cancer. So Cancer, this new moon, of course, is in your 7th house, since your opposite sign is Capricorn. So there's a new beginning for you when it comes to 7th house stuff. So this is all about your one-on-one relationships, your long-term one-on-one relationships. Of course, It could be your significant other, or you could be deciding that you want a significant other, but it's also your long-term connections, your best friend forever. It could be even a consultant or consultants. It could be a business partner, right? So you want to cultivate meaningful and supportive relationships. Maybe you make an intention this new moon. I want a partner for this. I want a romantic partner. I want a business partner. I want a really great massage therapist, etc. Or it could be a matter of you already have partnerships in place and you want to fortify them. You want to make adjustments. You want them to be stronger and more fulfilling. Meanwhile, Uranus, planet of change and the unpredictable and oftentimes the miraculous, is in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals. This is very, very nice. So there's a beautiful flow of energy between your partnerships and your highest dreams, hopes, wishes, goals, and expectations. And the 11th house also has to do with friends and groups of like-minded people. So with this correlation between the 7th and the 11th, you and your partner might determine, we're going to go after this goal. We're going to go after this big hope and dream. And they might be more realizable when you're pursuing a hope and dream with a partner. Or it could be a matter, say you're looking for love or you're looking for a new partner. Well, you might find them in a group. You might find them through a friend. So with these two energies together, think about what it is that you want in your partnerships. Think about your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. With Uranus in your 11th, you could find a business partner this new moon who helps get you to that next level. The 11th house is the house of why not. It's with the philosophy that there are no dangling carrots in the universe, that if you have a desire, that comes with it the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. So connect with partners because they might actually be very helpful for you this new moon. And if you need a partner, I would definitely join a group or explore different groups that are of like-minded interest. So let's see, Cancer, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Cancer, wisdom for Cancer, wisdom for Cancer, Cancer. The Lovers. I love it. So the Lovers is about you closing and starting a new air cycle. A new air cycle, which could be very, very social. Meaning, the Lovers is almost like you no longer want to take this route to work. Or you don't want to really hang out with this group of people. You think that these people might be more fun. So you're closing an air cycle, meaning the things that you're used to doing, especially socially, they're probably not going to punch your ticket anymore. And you're probably going to be doing some new things. Maybe you'll start a class, or maybe you'll join a group, or maybe you'll start a writing project, right? The Lover's card actually pertains to the sign of Gemini. So it's all about doing things that are new and intellectual. I would say with the Lover's card too, it's important for you to make a choice based upon your values. You want to make sure that the choices that you make feel good to you. So you're not looking back on them with guilt or regret. So make value-oriented decisions. I'd also say with the Lover's card, of course, it's about love. And when we're talking about the Lover's card, they are together, and there's a lot of healing and there's blessings. So you want to consider where it is that you want to blend, where it is that you want to relate. What do you want to love? You might decide that you want to love a particular person, or maybe you want to fall in love with an art project or something new, maybe a new endeavor, but you want to allow yourself to blend and make a decision. So the Lover's card is all about making a choice. Make the decision that you want, for instance, a new partner in this realm, or make the decision that you're going to find a group that supports your goals. So I hope that helps. Happy new moon, Cancer, in Capricorn. Oh, your hubs is a Cancer? Oh, I hope that's relevant for him, Kelsey. This is good for you since he has a new moon in the 7th. That's really cool. And your husband is a Scorpio. Well, that's cool too. We'll be talking about Scorpio shortly. So Leo, you're going to be a hard worker bee most likely this transit. New moon is in your 6th house of work, health, your day-to-day regime, the nuts and bolts operations of your life. So you want to utilize this new moon to get your life running like a well-oiled machine, which really first starts with your body. Make sure your body is all tuned up. Where do you need to relax? Where do you need to release? What doesn't feel great? How can you send healing energy to that area of your body? So you want your body to feel as amazing as possible. And you also want to look at your lifestyle. What's the right combination of things that are going to make you well and happy? Do you want a new job? Do you want a new health regime? Are you sick and tired or feeling sick and tired, as they say? But you can streamline your life very, very easily. And this is the most practical thing you can do in the beginning of the year, is to get those structures in place. So if you want better health, well, what does that look like? What does the structure of your workouts look like on a weekly basis? What does your diet look like? Do you have a plan? And your work routines? How can you streamline your work routines for more efficiency and productivity? Meanwhile, Leo, you have Uranus in your 10th, which is very, very nice. So there could be some really, really cool professional developments for you this new moon, especially if you get really organized. So when you're really organized, you can sort of go on automatic pilot, right? And you already do this with certain things in your life. When you get out of bed and you brush your teeth, and there's certain things that you just normally do that you don't even think about. And that's really the goal with the 6th house, to introduce new routines into your life that become automatic because they're good for you. And when you have things taken care of and you don't really have to worry about them, and you're focusing on your process, well, the results take care of themselves. And when you are more efficient, you're going to be better able to make the best use of opportunities. And there does seem to be quite a nice career opportunity here for you. You may decide that you want to break new ground in your career. Maybe you're like, oh, this is my passion. This is what I really, really want to do. This is what would punch my ticket. And if that's the case, what I would do with the 6th house new moon transit is essentially say, what do I need to do on a regular basis that is going to get me closer to my goal? So if you're wanting to switch careers, for instance, what can you do on a regular basis to align with that? Do you need to take a class to get more versed in the area you want to be an expert in? Can you spend some time studying or getting a leg up on that career endeavor? Meanwhile, you may have at this point the extra status. You might get some extra status, some nice props, some VIP, approbation, validation this new moon. And as a result, you may want to make your lifestyle easier. Leos like to enjoy luxury. So how can you enjoy luxury on a day-to-day basis? And how can your career help that happen? Maybe you have such a good reputation that you're at this point now where you can ask your boss or your supervisor for either a raise to make your lifestyle more comfortable, or maybe you're at this point where you can go on more vacations or get a day off of work or work from home, stuff like that. There's a beautiful alignment between your 6th house of day-to-day activities and your status. So find ways to blend the two for best effect. And let's see, Leo, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Leo. Wisdom for Leo. Wisdom, Leo. Leo. Wisdom for Leo. Wisdom for Leo. The moon. So the moon card, This is an interesting card. It's about an ending of an emotional cycle. So you might still be closing up a cycle emotionally, determining, okay, I can't be with this person anymore, or I can't be doing this anymore. With the moon card, you're closing an emotional cycle, and the advice with the moon card is sometimes it's good just to take a beat, to just step back and to be passive. With the moon card, the wind is still in your face. So you don't want to go all out right now. You want to make emotional adjustments, make the adjustments internally. Allow yourself to really tap into the subconscious. This might be a really good time for you to visualize how you want things to go. For instance, because it's a new moon in the 6th house transit for you, how do you want your day-to-day regime to be like? How do you want your workouts to be? How do you want your work to be? What new job do you want, right? And then visualizing it is going to be really advantageous with the moon, because oftentimes in the moon card, you shouldn't be taking much action. So also keep in mind too that Mercury is still in its post-shadow period until the 20th of January. So as a result, you're going to have a little bit of issue with communication, not as bad as it was when Mercury was retrograde, but things are going to be up to speed better come the 20th of January. So I would utilize this new moon to get some extra sleep, to not give yourself the luxury of a negative thought, and to play over in your mind what you want to have happen. Because we get in life what we subconsciously believe that we are, and everything has to take place in the psyche before you can actually manifest it. So definitely utilize this new moon for a little bit of extra downtime and visualize what you want. And then, of course, follow your impulses. Because then your subconscious is essentially feeding you and saying, go here, do this, make this phone call, etc. So happy new moon, Leo. Oh, you're a Leo. That's you. I hope your Tarotscope and horoscope is helpful for you this new moon. Definitely get some downtime with the moon card for you. Because you may be, with the new moon in the 6th, you might be starting a new regime, right? New workout regime. Virgo, you're in luck. This is a nice new moon for you. 5th house, all about fun, pleasure, play, those things that really light you up. The 5th house is about things that you really love. It could be a hobby. It could be recreation. It could be downtime, good times, laughter. It's about your creations, the things that you create, including your children, if you have children. So this is a wonderful new moon for you, Virgo, to strike out on new creative ventures and romance. So the universe has quite the sense of humor in that the 5th house has to do with true love and romance and affairs, but it's not the 7th house. The 7th house has to do with partnerships, marriage, getting a ring on it, right? But the 5th house is more about romance and dating and play. And it is, ironically, about true love. So there might be somebody that you meet that is an amazing date, or they're great in bed, or they're awesome to go to the movies with, but they make a lousy partner. You do not want to be with this person permanently. That may be the case. Ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to find somebody that you have this true love with, great chemistry with, you know how to have a really good time with them, and they also become your partner. But first things first, the 5th house comes before the 7th house, so definitely do what you can to have fun and keep it light. You want to embrace your inner teenager. And if you're already in a partnership, well, I'd say that you want to make sure that you're having fun with your partner and doing things that bring out your inner child. Maybe you need to go to a fair or a carnival, or maybe you need to go on a cruise if that's exciting for you, or a helicopter ride, but do things that are fun and light you up. Meanwhile, Virgo, Uranus is in your 9th, making a beautiful trine to this new moon. So the 9th house is all about your expansion, your growth, how you can get bigger and go bigger. It encompasses travel. It might be about foreign travel for you and you want to go away, right? In fact, with the 5th house and the 9th house, you could be meeting somebody on foreign shores. That really is a good time, or a foreign person even. With the ninth house as well, it's about expanding your horizons and even sharing yourself. So when you travel with the ninth house, you're experiencing yourself and you're experiencing more of the world. But the ninth house also pertains to you sharing yourself. So say you have a manuscript, it's about sharing that all around the world. Or say you have a podcast, or say you have a book that you want to publish. All of those things are also ninth house. So you want to expand and grow. You want to experience your energy going across the universe, either through travel or through what you publish or broadcast. I mean, this is a wonderful transit if you're a creative, because the fifth house is about your creations and the ninth house is about publishing and broadcasting. So there could be a creative endeavor that really gets a lot of exposure. That could be really good. Good midday, Common gave you. Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining me today. So let's see. Let's see, Virgo, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Leo. Wisdom for Virgo, the new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Virgo. Wisdom for Virgo. Wisdom for Virgo. Strength. Okay. So the strength card is very, very nice. It's about gentle strength. This is not about brute force. If you notice in the card, the lady is gently prying open or closed, depending on how you look at it, the lion's mouth, right? Now, the lion would normally be scary, but she has this gentle strength, and that's what you need to do. You need to employ this gentle strength. The lion in the card represents all that is beastly or unruly in nature. So this could be you and your beast, and you need to calm down. Or you could be dealing with somebody who is beast-like, and you need to gently close their mouth, right? Or gently guide them to seeing things in a different way. But from your strength will come sweetness. So you want to allow yourself to be strong. You also want to allow yourself to enjoy life. This is actually ruled by Leo, which is also connected to the fifth house. So this is very apropos for you. I would look at this card and over the next 2 weeks, because it is a very Leo card. And you want to make sure that you're having fun, but also with the strength card, being gentle with yourself and being gentle with other people, but being gentle, but also being strong. So you may have to assert yourself. You may need to really tap into that lust for life in order for you to have as much fun as possible. And that's the big point. You want to make sure that this year for you is really, really, really fun. And that's perfect, this new moon. And with this card, it's a matter of tapping into that light within yourself, the light of the heart, and following what has heart and meaning and doing more things that light you up. So enjoy your new moon in Capricorn, Virgo. Libra. Happy new moon, Libra. This new moon is hitting your fourth house, which is at an angle, which is a big deal. So when you have the angles, first house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house, you hit one angle and it can sometimes be a domino effect and hit other angles. But the point for you this new moon is develop a deeper sense of emotional security. You want to feel really at home within the self during this transit. So you want to tap into the energy of the divine mother. How can you mama bear yourself better than you ever have before? So you want to make sure that you're nurturing yourself, you're nurturing your loved ones. How can you create a more nurturing, secure home base or environment? The fourth house has to do with home and family. So this might be a time when you start something new with your family. You could determine that, oh, I really want this new house, or I want to redecorate. But the most important thing with the fourth house is that you feel emotionally secure and supported. Now, with Uranus in your eighth house of transformation, it would seem that in order for you to achieve that next level of emotional security, something needs to go bye-bye, or you need to invite something into your life. You need to either set a boundary or you need to dissolve a boundary. Maybe there are people that want to love and support you more, and you're like, nah, I'm good, I'm fine. Well, maybe you need to release that boundary so you can feel more loved and supported. I'd also say with the eighth house is about sharing. So how can you share more of yourself with other people? And that may give you more of a sense of emotional security. But essentially, this new moon for you, Libra, it's all about you feeling more at home within the self. And what you want to do is determine, where do you need to say no, or where do you need to say yes in order for you to experience that deeper emotional security. So let's see, Libra, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Libra, wisdom for Libra, wisdom for Libra. Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles is actually ruled by Capricorn. It's the sun in Capricorn. So with this card, it's two things. Either you're holding on too tightly and you need to chill out and you need to relax and release resistance, or you need to get your life in complete working order, right? The Four of Pentacles may be about holding on to what you have, but it also can be about, holding on too tightly. So when you hold on too tightly to what you own owns you. So where can you release resistance? Where can you relax? And where do you actually need to get things more buttoned up? Typically with the Four of Pentacles, it's both, right? There's some area of your life in which you're too closed off and too stubborn, and there might be other areas of your life that are too loosey-goosey. So determine where you can balance. Where do you need to tighten things up, and where do you need to let go a little bit? And happy new moon in Capricorn, Libra. Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, this new moon is hitting your third house of communications. This is going to be a lot of fun. So it's all about improving your communications. It also could be about your neighborhood, your environment, where you go on a regular basis. The third house encompasses a lot. It is your mindset. It's your thinking. It's your writing. It's how you communicate. It's how you deal with things on a day-to-day basis. It pertains to your siblings, your neighbors, your neighborhood. It's a lot of things. Short distance trips, right? But it's about learning, particularly learning within your environment. So you may want to utilize this new moon to get your mind set on what it is that you want. Maybe you visualize it and you thank the universe ahead of time for it already coming to fruition. But you want to get your mindset in order. And you also want to communicate more clearly. If we communicate better, we can actually achieve more. So determine how you can communicate better. I think Scorpio, as a rule, they are very protective of themselves. So they might not be good at communicating their feelings. And with Uranus, planet of change and the unpredictable and the miraculous, in your seventh house of partnership, Scorpio, this is probably about you communicating better with a partner. Or if you're looking for love, are you communicating to the universe and to your prospects, this is what I want. I need a relationship with somebody who is like this or who doesn't do this, etc. This is a wonderful new moon for you to determine what you want in your relationships. There also might be changes in your relationships this new moon. You might meet someone new. You might decide to give somebody their walking papers, but you want to reinvigorate your partnerships, if you have them already, with some fresh ideas. There's this beautiful link between communication and doing new things together and your seventh house of partnership. So if you're looking to get into a relationship, what new communication cycle do you have to embark on? And what I mean by that is, are you going to places where you can meet this new person? If you are looking to learn something new, well, maybe you'll have a partner in crime. Maybe you want to start a writing project and there's a partner that can help you do it. If so, this is a wonderful new moon for you to make great strides in that regard. Hey, shiny side, nice to see you. National Vision Board Day is January 13th. That's in 2 days. Thank you for the heads up. I didn't know that. I hope you have a wonderful new moon. So let's see, Scorpio, what wisdom you get from the tarot this new moon. It's hitting your 3rd house. So wisdom for Scorpio, wisdom for Scorpio, wisdom for Scorpio. Queen of Cups. How interesting. This is your card. All the queens of the tarot are ruled by the fixed signs. And the Queen of Cups is the water element, and fixed water is Scorpio, which you get. So this is all about you developing more of a sense of emotional integrity and even emotional security this cycle. I think that what's really interesting about the Queen of Cups, in light of your 3rd house transit, which has to do with communication, is that when you look into a body of water, you see your reflection. And because you're a Scorpio with the Queen of Cups, when people look at you, they see their reflection. So you reflect back to people who they are. This makes you very, very psychic. It makes you very caring. It makes you very, very empathic, understanding, right? So the big thing with Queen of Cups is to maintain your emotional security and to communicate. This is a new moon in your 3rd house. You don't want to keep everything in, because that's when Scorpios explode, right? You want to allow yourself to flow with your feelings, and you can tell the truth, but maybe tell it slant. Maybe you can say, I love you, but this is driving me insane. I need this to change, whatever it might be. But this is a new communication cycle for you. And because you are a water sign, this is a wonderful time for you to communicate your feelings with authenticity, because you don't have to do it alone. And with this beautiful trine between your communication house and your 7th house of partnerships, this is a wonderful time for you to communicate to your partners or even would-be partners that are going to make a big difference in 2024. So communicate your feelings, be honest, be true, and enjoy your new moon. I think it's going to be good for you. It's going to be really good. So happy new moon. Sagittarius. Happy new moon in Capricorn, Sagittarius. This is a nice new moon. It's hitting your 2nd house, which pertains to money, your values, and your self-expression to a certain extent. The 2nd house pertains to your throat chakra in a lot of ways, because your throat is your value, it's your worth. So you want to utilize this new moon to really utilize your throat chakra. Maybe sing, maybe write, dance, express yourself, and really look at your natural talents. The smartest thing to do if you want to make more money is do what comes naturally to you, what you would also do for free. And then you have that freedom, because oftentimes, especially with Sagittarius, it's not a matter of wanting money. I want money. It's more a matter of you want freedom. You want the freedom that money provides you. So allow yourself to explore your natural talents, even if you're not doing it professionally. The flow that you wind up getting by expressing yourself is likely to affect other areas of your life, i.e., your bank balance. So this is also a good time to get really, really practical, Sagittarius, looking at your financial goals. Oh, geez, I'd love to make an extra amount of dollars per month, or this year, annually, I want to make X amount of dollars. What does that look like? What does it look like? What is the structure you're going to have in place to do that? Are you creating a plan with your supervisor to get you on your professional track, or a promotion that results in a raise? Or what do you need to do in order to build up your financial wealth? And with Uranus in your 6th house, this is very, very nice. So you could get a new job that pays you more money, because the 6th house has to do with work, and Uranus is the planet of change and unpredictability. So you could get a new job that gives you a nice pay jump. That's how we often make our biggest pay jumps, by switching jobs. So consider that. Likewise, there is, with Uranus in the 6th house, a shakeup in your routine. So maybe you're really wanting to, this new moon, to feel better physically. This is a great new moon then for you to establish a new protocol for your diet, for your exercise, or even like streamlining your processes at work. That could be really good. But you want to think about what you want financially in 2024 and what you can do on a regular basis. What's your process for making that happen? For instance, if you're looking for new work, do you have a process in which every Monday you send out resumes? If you're looking to feel better about yourself, because the second house has to do with your self-esteem and your self-worth, and you're like, oh, I feel like I would feel so much better with myself if I was stronger or if I could run longer. Well, what is the system in place for that? For instance, what days a week are you exercising, etc., or expressing yourself, right? Say you're feeling stifled and you feel like, oh, I really want to do something creative. Okay, well, what's the process? Are you taking music classes? When do they meet, etc.? So you want to definitely schedule things, right? Think of your goals and create a schedule for you working on them, even if it's just visualizing. Even if it's, say you have a second house goal, you want more money. Well, a schedule for that might be, okay, well, every day at 1, I'm going to focus on what I have and thank the universe for the blessings I already have. But again, you want to schedule it with Uranus in your 6th. So let's see, Sagittarius, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Sagittarius. Wisdom for Sagittarius. Wisdom for Sagittarius. The Lovers again comes up. So the Lovers card is about you making a choice, ideally a choice based upon your values. And when the Lovers card comes up, a big question is, what do you love? What do you love and what do you want to blend with? What do you want to meld with? The Lovers card can be about intimacy, but it's not only intimacy with somebody else. It certainly could be, but it's also about intimacy with your process, let's say, or intimacy with your art or with your workouts or with, whatever it is that you wind up doing on a regular basis. The big thing, too, with the Lovers is that you're closing an air cycle, according to this card. So there's certain things that just don't punch your ticket anymore. Maybe with the new moon in the second house, there's something that you're doing on a regular basis, and it's like, it's really draining you. It's devaluing you, and it's taking away from your sense of worthiness. So if that's the case, then you want to close the door on that. I'm not going to go to this coffee shop anymore. I'm not going to spend time with these people, etc. Instead, with the Lovers card, you might be starting a new air cycle in which you're developing these healthy habits. Remember, Uranus is in your 6th. So you might be utilizing this to say, okay, well, I'm going to start a class because I love being in classrooms, or I'm going to start a new workout regime, or I'm going to start a new diet, etc. But this is a new air cycle. So I would expect new people, places, and things around you. And you might want to utilize this new moon to take a short distance trip. Maybe you need to get out of your surroundings for a little bit. Maybe you don't need to go across the country, although you usually do love going across the country. This might be to a nearby town or a sister state, someplace that is fairly close, maybe within driving distance. That could be very good for you. So happy new moon, Sagittarius. And happy birthday, Capricorn. I hope this new moon in your sign is amazing. So you got the new moon in your 1st house. And the 1st house has to do with your personality and your personal identity. And remember, that is what creates your personal reality. So if you want a new reality, you want a new personal reality, but you want to change your personality. So this is a great new moon for you to say, you know what, I want to tap into this aspect of myself. We're all making ourselves up as we go along. We might think that it is the same old us all the time, but that's just because we're making the same decision. So you want to make a decision. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Make the decision, trust the decision, and act like you trust the decision. So make the decision and then maintain your decision. Who do you want to be? You get to decide. This is your new moon. And with Uranus in the 5th house, you're going to get to have a lot of fun. And maybe your new identity is about that. Capricorns are born during a time in which there's like a lot of responsibility put on them. And that's why they look usually older when they're young and they look young when they're old. And that also is reflective of what's going on in the inside of them, because there's so much responsibility with them growing up as they age, they're able to have a childhood. They usually are deprived of a normal childhood. So as they get older, then they're able to let loose a little bit and enjoy their lives and to have more fun. And with Uranus, planet of the unpredictable and change and the miraculous in your 5th house of fun, joy, things that light you up, well, this could be about you establishing a new identity based upon a creative passion. Maybe you're aligning your new personality with something that you love, or a new hobby, or more joyfulness. If you're looking for love, well, this is a great transit for you. So expect the unexpected in terms of love. I would say just enjoy people, enjoy things, look for what it is that you want to see in other people. But it's really a time for you to go out on a limb and redefine yourself and say, this is who I want to be. And how can you creatively go after that? And what creative things can you do that are going to light you up? Because when you're lit up, you're going to be enlightened and life is just going to be easier for you. So let's see what wisdom you get from the Tarot, Capricorn, for your new moon in your sign. Wisdom for Capricorn. The moon. So with the moon card, Capricorn, the wind might still be in your face a little bit, right? So if you don't feel like you're ready, that is cool. Mercury is still in its post-shadow period. It's getting out of it the 20th. So give yourself a little bit of time. The moon card also is about becoming aware of the subconscious. So this is a wonderful time for you to get a little bit of extra rest and sleep and to play over in your mind how you want things to be, how you want things to turn out. It also might be a time in which you'll become more aware of things that are beyond the intellectual. Music. Capricorns love music, and they often have a real great gift for it. So maybe it's a matter of getting more in touch with music or verse with the moon card or color, those things that are beyond the logical and they tap into the subconscious. So give yourself a little bit of a rest. If it's not a hell yeah, don't do it. There's no race going on. And allow yourself to really trust your intuition with the moon card and visualize what it is that you want to have happen. You might want to get a big calendar, look at the whole year and be like, okay, well, this would be amazing here. And I want to have this kind of holiday here, etc. And play it over in your mind with the moon card, because we get in life what we subconsciously are. And this is a wonderful time for you to program your subconscious with all those hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals that you want to manifest this year. Because if you have it in your psyche, then it's going to manifest externally. So happy birthday and happy new moon. Aquarius, it's time for bed, Aquarius, with the new moon in your 12th house. This is definitely a good time for you to take it down a notch. So with the new moon in your 12th, you're getting ready for your birthday. And you're going to have Pluto entering your sign, where it's going to stay until fall, and then it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn for a little bit, and then it's going to be in your sign for like 20 years. So you're going through a lot of metamorphosis, a lot of change, and now is your time to make sure that your head is in the right spot, that you are processing everything that happened over the past, say, 12 months, right? And that's why sleep is going to be very, very helpful for you. So utilize this time to reflect, release, let go, and find inner clarity. And with the 12th house, you can sometimes experience a dark night of the soul in the 12th house. If that is what you're going through, you're completely on schedule, because sometimes we need to experience that dark night of the soul to get out of our system fears and limiting beliefs, etc. So give yourself a little bit of a break. You got Uranus in your 4th house. So there may be a new home on your horizon or a vision for a new home. Also with the Uranus in the 4th house, you might discover, keyword for Uranus is discover, what you need emotionally. What is going to make you feel really emotionally secure? So during this new moon, you're processing, you're letting go, you're getting extra sleep, you're giving yourself suggestions that are very, very advantageous to you. But with Uranus in the 4th, you're also going to be making changes to your emotional foundation that allows you that level of security that's going to give you that ability to take greater risks. So when you have the fourth house is your foundation. And if you have an emotionally secure foundation, you can do anything, right? So keep that in mind. This is an angular transit with Uranus in your fourth this new moon. So think of innovative ways for you to feel more at home within the self. Think of the divine mother and how you specifically need to be nurtured and cared for. I think it's going to be a cool transit for you, for sure. So let's see what wisdom we get from the tarot for Aquarius. Wisdom for Aquarius. Wisdom for Aquarius. 10 of Pentacles. So this is called the Wealth card. It's a very, very nice card if you want to see how your next project is going to turn out. This would say it's destined for greatness. So the 10 of Pentacles is about a situation that has a certain degree of permanence, something that can last very far into the future. So you want to think about what it is that you can see yourself doing long term. What does the next 20 years look like for you? What does that look like? And how can you ground yourself in such a way that allows that to be realizable? What structures can you put in place that allow you to create long-term success, right? With this card, it's also about generations and really a legacy. What legacy do you want to leave behind? It's not just money. It certainly can be money. So this is a good time for you to make sure that you have your assets in order. If you're giving things away to people, if you're sponsoring people, etc., it's good to have that in place. So that's all taken care of. But I'd say also it's all about your legacy. What are you leaving behind? What are you gifting the universe for? What is the fortune that you have within yourself, and how are you sharing that? How are you leaving that behind? Otherwise, I would say look at your life and determine what could really be great long term for you and what's going to survive long into the future. What is sustainable for you based upon what makes you feel really rich emotionally. And happy new moon in Capricorn, Aquarius. And last but not least, Pisces. So Pisces, you got this new moon in your 11th house. Hopes, dreams, wishes, goals, friendships, community. So you may decide that you want to hang out with some new peeps. Maybe you need a new tribe. And you also might have some new goals. And a light bulb might go off in your head and be like, oh yeah, I want to do this screenplay. Or I want to choreograph this. Or I want to write a television show. I mean, there's so many things, right? But you want to go after those highest apples on the tree, those shiniest apples on the tree. Remember that if you have a desire, that comes with it, the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. So go aim high this new moon. Really think about what's the best case scenario. What would you dare to dream if you knew you would not fail? And with Uranus in your third house, your mind is definitely going to be firing off some really great ideas. So embrace new ways of thinking and communicating. I'd also say with the new moon in the 11th, maybe you need some new friends around you. Maybe that's going to be really fun for you. And it might be a matter with Uranus in your third, you change up your routine. Maybe you go to a meeting every week, or maybe you join a class, right? I actually think that a class would be amazing because the 11th house is about groups and the third house is about learning. So that goes really well together. So think about your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. Think about the friends that you have and what changes can you make on a regular basis with what you do, where you go, how you think, especially that can make those hopes and dreams realizable. So let's see, Pisces, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your new moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Pisces. Wisdom for Pisces. Five of Swords. So with Five of Swords, you want to make sure that you are maintaining self-interest. Like, what do you need to do to make sure that your base is secure? And how can you allow yourself to align with energy that is more about your inherent abundance and your inherent sense of self-love and peace? You don't want to go for the win-lose result. There are going to be times with Five of Swords where you need to have self-interest and you gotta take care of yourself. But there are other times with Five of Swords where there's no need for you to be really fearful. Nothing's going to really happen. Are you just fearing defeat? So there are times when you have to maintain self-interest, and there's other times in which you mustn't be afraid of being defeated, right? Everything that you experience with the tarot in your life, it's all a reflection. So how are you with the Five of Swords defeating yourself? How do you put yourself down, or how do you undercut your value? Because that might be reflected outside of you. Additionally, I'd say with Five of Swords, it's a matter of maintaining a certain degree of self-interest, thinking about what it is that you want to achieve and how can you make sure that that happens. What structures do you have to have in place? I think with you being Pisces and the sun and moon in Capricorn, it might be a matter of, if something is really important for you, you've got to create a structure in place to protect it, right? So say you want to start this new endeavor. This might be about really scheduling things to make sure that you're making progress on a regular basis. The big thing with Five of Swords is to not fear defeat, but to also maintain a certain degree of self-interest or self-preservation. So happy new moon, Pisces. And then we have it, folks. We did it. We did our new moon in Capricorn, Tarotscopes and horoscopes for this new moon. Thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't gotten your tarot reading and your astrology chart read for the new year, well, you should sign up for a reading. Get a reading. My website is psychicsun.com. There you will find information about my one-on-one readings. I also do one-on-one coaching if you're looking for continuous support throughout the new year. And I do group classes. Every Thursday night, I do a class called Thursday Night Lights. So we touch upon a metaphysical topic. Tonight at Thursday Night Lights, we're going to be talking more about manifestation, specifically for this new moon. So if you're interested in signing up for that, the link to it is in the description below. We meet every single Thursday night, and it's a nice light class. And we also have group coaching or masterminding should you need that support. So check that out. All my information is below. I hope everybody has an amazing new moon. Happy new moon, everyone. Definitely set your intentions, write your wish list, light a candle if you're so inclined, and I shall see you soon. I'll be around for this week astrology tomorrow if you're catching this live on Friday the 12th. And the link to that, if you want to join me live tomorrow for this week astrology, is in the description below. Happy new moon, everyone, and I shall see you soon.